What's up, everybody? It's Porky from Uncanceled Culture, and if you're looking for pet scooping services and lawn care in San Antonio, look no further than our friends at Clean Sweep Scoop Pet Waste Removal Services. Whether you need regular pet waste removal or just a one-time scoop to keep your yard tidy, they've got you covered. Their mission is to create a safe, clean environment for you and your furry friends. Call or text them at 830-542-2266. Please add your number of dogs you have and a zip code for a free estimate. You can also visit them at Facebook on cleansweep.scoop and their website cleansweepscoop.com. Remember, at Clean Sweep Scoop, they poop, we scoop. Servicing San Antonio and surrounding areas.
The following moments may contain explicit language.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
God, there it is again. We are back, ladies and gentlemen, purporting live from the Gulf of America.
Purporting.
Well, you know.
Is that the same thing as, what was it? What did he say last time?
If Louis can say, you know.
Yeah, what was it? What did he say last time?
I forgot.
Pacific?
Pacific.
Oh, Pacific.
If he can say Pacifically, I can say purporting.
Purporting.
We are, yeah, it's all about poor choices today.
We're back in Casa de Louis. Casa de
wait.
Oh. Okay, well, y'all gonna have to come up with a name for that. 'Cause I only know it as Casa de Louis. So whatever y'all want to think of, that's on y'all.
All right, we'll call the man cave Casa de Louis. We'll call the house Casa de Sabrina.
Yes.
Sabrina's dungeon.
Yes.
The Bat Cave.
The Bat Cave. Yeah, because she's Robin. So
No, I'm not.
we had this argument all the time.
Oh God, here we go.
All the time.
This is turning into a couple's.
Yeah, all the time. So
What is up, everybody?
just say, at least I know how to drive. And yeah, you win the argument.
Oh, I have a story about that today.
Oh my God. Well, we want to go back. We're going to start off right off the bat. So we're going to go back to talking about the fate versus free will thing.
Because we had some responses, and then of course,
Well, we did have some responses, and I also wanted to do it because we have everybody here.
Yeah.
Everybody's here. They're back from vacation.
well, she's got 30 minutes.
Oh, she's got 30 minutes?
Yeah, she's got to go run and pick up a couple of the kiddos real quick.
We'll just
Okay, then we've
take
got-
our time. And no. So we talked about the free will versus fate, right? So we did read your responses, but
Yeah.
I'm sure y'all had more to add. I mean, you probably could have wrote like a whole book, but you know, I just told y'all to send something real quick. So,
Well, so we started while we were offline, talking about Roger's response, right? Well, his 90 responses. He first starts off saying that it's all bullshit.
Who said that?
but technically what? Like
Exactly, because he really didn't elaborate, right? He just said, I like the interesting back and forth, but it's all bullshit, right?
Yeah.
He says fate is a belief, that there's no possible way to prove its existence, okay? And I know your question back to him was, well, then everyone lives in free will. So here's the thing. Sabrina and I were kind of going back and forth on a debate right now because his example was it doesn't matter what choice you make for fate, right? What choice you make, if it's going off of y'all's talk last week, I was listening. you mentioned, well, everybody has an expiration date. So if you're going off to your expiration date, then that's basically what he's saying is, or what we're saying is what fate is, right? He's saying it's a belief. Okay, it is a belief, but it depends on what the belief is in. Because Sabrina did bring up religion, right?
Right.
Fate isn't always based on religion to people, because I've heard people talk about, well, the universe is in control. That's not a religion.
No.
But, the universe, or if the stars line up,
Yeah.
or if the planets line up.
That's what I meant by that.
Yeah.
So to speak on what I said, it was, and my perspective is coming from.
So don't take the words out of her mouth, Louis.
Right.
It's too early for a shot.
My perspective was coming from my courses that I've taken, right, in ethics and philosophy. And what they always state is that the longest argument of time is how people perceive things, right? It's all about perspective. And any argument that you approach, it's about a person's perspective. It's subjective to how they were brought up, their cultural, the way that they are culturally, their religion, whether there is one or not, and then their personal values and the way that they carry themselves, morals, et cetera, right? And so that's what I meant by that. So whether you believe that to be true or not, that's how you will respond to that question. And that's just, and it's going to be different for every single person, because not everybody's brought up in the same house. And even if they are, like the saying, like same building, different views, you have a different experience than the person next to you, right? So that's what I was saying, is that is a question that is subjective, because everybody's experience is different and everyone's religious backgrounds
And everybody's belief
is different. Right.
And it's true because, well, so to go off of Roger's examples, basically out of his 90 examples, they were all the same. But he was basically saying, like, okay, look, it doesn't matter what your choice is. If you're going to die that day, you're going to die. It doesn't matter if you decide, well, I'm not going to take the highway because it's more dangerous. I'm going to take a back road. Something can still happen. So that's your fate. That's what's going to happen to you, right? It doesn't matter what your belief is, whether you believe in God, whether you don't believe in God. That's what the fate is. Because even if you believe in God, you still have free will. You still, so, and going off of what you had mentioned about Sabrina's response, where, and I heard one of y'all say it last week. If you're praying to God and say, okay, God, show me which way to go. And you get that answer from God, right? You say, okay, I heard from God and God said to do this. You still have free will to decide, I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to do it my way because I think it's better. And I'll tell you like this, there's a lot of people that think that way.
There's a lot of people in jail too.
Exactly. Y'all were using examples and you were like, just because
I listen to God.
People do things and
No, they're listening to him now.
No, they're listening. Yeah. No, some of them were listening to a dog. Some of them listen. The son of Sam was listening to a dog.
Yeah, he was.
But that's what it is. So it doesn't matter what your belief is. Whether you have a belief in God, whether you have a belief in the universe, whether you have a belief, whatever fate is, whether it's the stars or the planets or the sun or the moon, doesn't matter. It's whatever your belief is. You're gonna say, okay, that's fate. It's already predetermined. And yes, in religion, the Bible says, and a lot of people say, okay, God has already destined your path, right? We don't know what it is, and even though some of the choices we make might alter the path, yeah, there is a path that He has for you, including your expiration date.
Okay.
He knows when we're going to go, right? We don't know, but we try to make decisions based on what can I do to extend this,
make
and
your
to
fate
Cranky's
be better.
defense. Yeah, and to Cranky, what he was saying last week, where you could be the healthiest guy in the world,
Yep.
but get hit by a woman driver and you're dead. That was your expiration date.
Not
You know
just
what I
any
mean?
driver.
Damn driver.
And my thought was, to like piggyback off of what I had sent, was I feel like those two things are independent of each other. I feel like everybody has free will, regardless of what you believe in. If I wanted to murder y'all right now in my house, in Sabrina's house, in Sabrina's Batcave, period, what's gonna stop me from doing that? Nothing. I could grab a knife. I could have a gun taped to underneath my table right now. Nothing would stop me from doing that.
Well,
And it's
we're not recording in this house anymore.
right, but
That's my free will.
right.
Where's
but,
the exit?
And hey, make
But
sure you
there's-
don't edit this part out. This is evidence right here.
Incriminating. It's incriminating.
That would be free
evidence.
will. If I wanted to stand on my sofa, like what was that one actor that did it from Scientology? What was his name?
Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. If I wanted to do that, no one's gonna stop me from doing. Might try, but it's my couch, and I'm gonna jump on that couch if I want.
Your couch. F your couch.
So, I mean, I feel like that would be free will. I feel like everybody has that ability, the ability to do that, and I feel like this is where the lines get crossed in court, where they're like, was this premeditated? Was this not? Because there's no way for sure to know that unless, of course, you go off based off of evidence. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty, but this is why this is such a like philosophical, ethical question, because it's just, it differentiates for every person. Some people are super rule followers and they have such a heavy, and I've met people in church and outside of church, that the discernment is so strong that they fear stepping out of line and doing anything that would be considered free will, because it's not like,
That's called good parenting.
because they fear the consequence, right?
Yeah.
Which is what the typical average person would do.
Not average, but
You know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
The good two shoes, the people who follow the rules, people who care about consequences.
which is why I brought up the upbringing part, because depending on how you're brought up, of course, one of y'all mentioned it. I think it was Cranky. 50%. What did you say? Whatever the percentage was. Okay, for the most part, parents are trying to bring their kids up right. Right. For the most part.
Yeah, I guess.
I do see a lot of parents that are the encouragers of go do this, go do that, right? Bad habits, and the kids don't know any better, but that's how they're brought up. And guess what? That's their religion. That's their
Where the subjectiveness comes
that's
into
what their
play.
belief is, because to them it wasn't wrong. Mom and dad told me I could do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it really, it's how you're brought up is gonna really determine like what how your decision making is, because we were brought up a certain way and we feared our parents, and we knew that if we stepped out of line, you know, it wasn't a grounding. It wasn't let me take your Xbox away. It was we're gonna get a smack over the head and then go to timeout.
Yeah,
and
that's
timeout was
why-
your
that's
sleep.
why I mentioned that.
Yeah.
Because that was how I, as growing up as a little kid, that was my voice.
Yeah.
Because my parents were on my shoulders.
Yeah.
That, because that was in the back of my mind. I was like, well, fuck. If
Yeah.
I do that.
And my dad's response always was, don't do as I do as I say. Because I could have my parents on my shoulder and I'm listening to them, but then I could be thinking, but what would that do? And then it might be different. It might go a little strayed. You know what I mean?
See, so from what I was saying was the free will is to me one argument, and then to be a puppet of fate, which was the original question, is another argument. Because like you said, religion comes into play for that, and we believe that God already has a purpose for us. So it doesn't matter what we do, our plan is still going to fold out the way He expected us to, right? We're still going to be used for His kingdom in some capacity, the way He's planned for us to. But people who don't believe that,
Okay, I was just going to ask.
like people who
was
believe
just
in
gonna ask.
Hinduism, I believe it's karma. They believe in
Hedonism?
the karmic Hinduism. They believe in the karmic.
Not hedonism.
No.
Not hedonism. No.
They
wrong
believe.
one.
I
Wrong
believe
one.
it's them that, and no disrespect, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that it's that religion that they believe that their life now is a direct reflection of what they did in their past life. So
Yes.
if they did something good in their past life, they're living in a good place now. And where they fall in their societal norm, like within their community, is based off of what their past self did.
Okay.
So it doesn't matter what you did or what you're doing now. That's gonna be for the future you to deal with. But for now, it's based off of karma from before.
Yeah, and that's how they maneuver.
Yes, and if you are born into a low society,
Low
like
class,
if you're born poor, lower class, it's like, ooh, don't mess with them because their family has bad karma.
And
it's contagious.
Because that's from India, right?
Yes.
And that's where how they are
Yes.
over there. If you're
Yep.
poor, you're poor.
Yeah.
Like,
And so
you'll never do
You'll never
anything.
Yes,
go up.
you're
you'll
never gonna get out of that.
Never to-
Yes, that's
yeah.
just your predetermined fate, right?
Yeah.
And that's their God's belief that that's where you belong based off of what your family has done. That's why I say these two things are to be separated.
Yeah.
In my opinion, free will is one thing, and to be predetermined fate is another thing.
Yeah, and they also maneuver, even though they're low class, how they maneuver determines on, because they also believe in reincarnation. So what they're going to become, whether it's a person and in a better place, or if they're going to become something else.
What if you're flying?
Yeah,
God
exactly,
damn it.
you know? Damn,
One
what the hell
fucking
were you
day.
doing?
One fucking day I get to live.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch.
So now we did have a couple other responses. One response was, okay, you're never allowed to go on vacation again. Okay, that was one.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Another one was,
That's a slap in our face.
No. I didn't think about that until right before you said that, and I was like, well, fuck, man.
Well, I guess,
I guess we're gonna have to skip the show next time.
no, there was one that says, free will is by definition a religious term. So if you don't believe in God, you're not going to call it free will. You're just living your life on your terms as you see fit. Okay, even if you're angry, you'll always have a choice. No matter what, you have a choice to act on that anger or not. And you cannot confuse wisdom for free will. We learn from mistakes and from watching others, or at least we're supposed to, right? Wisdom is also passed down to us from our elders in previous generations through their lessons learned. And on top of that, you still have the choice to either follow that wisdom or their wisdom, or act upon whatever you want to do, both of which have consequences for their actions, cause and effect. And that was it for that one. So,
I just came up with with another question, and I don't know if it would actually be different or if it would be the same.
Pose differently, yeah.
But looking at the question again, so it's like, and the picture actually that I posted is kind of interesting because it had that figure and it had the strings coming off of it, you know. And so you brought up the universe. So. So who's to say that there is a God? People believe in God. I even said that I didn't believe in God for a while. But what if by some weird way the universe is pulling the strings? Not God. But what if the universe itself is like actually pulling your strings, guiding you along? You know, and not
a heavenly power.
right.
Well, okay. I mean, I would ask the question, the universe is what? Because when we talk about God, the Bible says that God is not only God, but he's, when we talk about the Trinity, he's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. He was also a man. Like Jesus was a man.
Okay.
And so that's why he understands the stuff that we go through, because he went through a lot of that. Whether it was temptation, whether it was, anger, whatever it was, he understands, right? And so when there's a power over you, when they're talking about God, they're talking about, okay, this is a person or someone that understands what you're going through. And so it's kind of directing your path towards where you're going. So when you're talking about the universe and you're saying, okay, the universe is pulling your strings, what is pulling your strings? So is it not a person? Is it not a thing?
So
is it just...
I can answer this, I think. So from what I understand, because I have friends that believe in both, and what I believe to be the meaning of when people say, oh, the universe put out good vibes, the universe, I'm assuming they're talking about like the retrograde, the planets, your ancestors, like the things that are not God, right? But that have like a gravitational pull having to do with life.
That's
right?
what I was thinking.
And so it's more like outer space, ancestors, the way that the sun is rotating, the earth is rotating, the way that you happen to be, the 23.6% tilt of the earth is right now. Like, just depends on where you're at in the season that you're in.
Happy spring.
Right. Happy spring, officially, first day. I think that's what people say. And also, like, supposedly when you believe in that, like we talked about it briefly in philosophy, is that people that believe in the universe, quote unquote, is not specifically speaking to an entity within itself, but it's stating that what you put out, you'll get back. Not so much karma, but whatever vibe you send out is what vibe you're going to get back, which to me is karma.
Yeah, it's basically
just
the same
not
thing.
labeled.
Yeah.
But if that's what you're putting your eggs in that basket, then I mean, that would be for someone who believes in that to explain. I feel like not well versed enough to know or to speak on their behalf. But that's from what I've heard and what I've gathered based off of people sharing. So.
Yeah.
Well, that was my question.
And I forgot the question. What was it? The universe.
If it was pulling at your strings.
Like if the universe is because they talk about the universe and there's gravity and there's gravitational pulls, and that's what black holes are, pulling the universe down into, basically sucking everything into it. And eventually years and years and years and years and years and years and years down the road is what's going to happen is we're going to
Get sucked into
We're going to be pulled into a black hole eventually, and everything's just going to go away. But then what? Because we don't know what happens
after.
Yeah.
And then there's people that believe in life after death, right? Some people believe in heaven and hell, and other people believe in what? Do we all just go into the universe now? Like, there's different beliefs, right?
Okay, so
there's some people that believe that there's no life after death,
There's a word for it I just found out. So it's called pantheism. And it's people who say the universe does things. They are considered pantheistic, believing that the universe and nature are identical to a supreme entity or divinity. So they believe in the universe and the nature.
So they believe that is the God.
Yes, that's
that
their
the universe is
right.
the-
That's the one who's pulling their strings.
Right,
That's the one in control of their future.
Well, I guess like going back to what Cranky said, that you could be the healthiest person in the world and then a woman driver.
So then wouldn't like He-Man be God since he was master of the
He
universe?
was the master of the universe,
Zeus.
bro. Yeah.
That's why
I like it.
when people talk about, well, yeah, right. But when people talk about like what are those called?
Gods.
Yeah, the god like Zeus and
Greek gods?
Greek gods, right? I mean that's
Yeah, there's Hermes. There was
Herpes.
herpes. Yes. That's the gift that keeps on giving. So that is herpes.
That's the only thing that they say in Vegas.
Or we can go to the other question was Harry Bush. Is it a deal breaker or not a deal breaker?
Again, subjective.
it is subjective.
It's whatever, but what to each their own. I feel like.
Or
Well-
as Cranky said, just brush it off to the side.
Brush it off.
Well, and I tell you, it is subjective. I agree with Sabrina, because if you're in a relationship, it's not a deal breaker. You're gonna have an opinion. I've seen some videos, right, on TikTok where the guy goes up to his wife and he gives her a cookie, and then she's gonna eat it. He's like, hold on, and then snips a piece of her hair and puts it on top of the cookie. And she's like, what are you doing? He's like, are you going to eat that? And she's like, no. And he's like, exactly. And then gives her a razor, right? So it's not a deal breaker, I guess, if you're in a relationship, but is it somebody's preference if they're not? If they're single, are they going to say, you know what, I'm not going to. And here's where I don't know if it's even subjective, right? Because I'm sorry. Well, it depends on the guy. If the guy's used to getting whoever he wants and whatever he wants, then I guess he can have the power or whatever to say, I don't want that. But if it's somebody that's like, dude, this is my opportunity and this is what I have, I don't think he's going to turn it down. I don't think he's going to go away from that. So I don't know.
That's something we used to say back in the day.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if it was that opportunity, I don't think he was going to say no. He's going to dive right in. Silly question.
Yeah.
So I missed the women drivers talk, but I had my own experience today with
I was about to say,
another
she has to say this.
woman driver, and I was about to
Wow.
I was about to call it a day.
Oh, today?
Because my issue is not with women drivers, it's with old drivers, but specifically old women drivers that grind my damn gears. Let me tell you what. Oh my gosh. I'm a firm believer that everybody after the age of like, I'm going to say 50. 100%.
Hold on.
And we're getting close.
Hey.
And when I say we, I mean everybody else but me at this table.
Like you said the other day, hey.
I believe that everybody after the age of 50 should be forced to go in every 5 years minimum to get another driving test. And that's a vision and physical driving test with an instructor. Because there's no damn way that this lady that I encountered today should be driving. She held up an entire shopping center's traffic. She hard stopped in the middle of a median, refused to turn until every single car in the United States had passed her. Got into the actual driveway of the shopping center and didn't turn and didn't go in, normal United States traffic, Texas traffic. Goes right way means you're going one way and the left way is going the opposite way.
She went in the left side.
Universal. She didn't do either. She did diagonal and stopped because she wasn't sure where she was going.
Oh,
so
my
she
God.
turned in and then started to look around while she parked.
She had been on something. That
There
sounds like you're
was
on something.
There was it was a little old lady with glasses on, trying to look over her steering wheel. Couldn't see. So
Probably
she
had a
looked-
dog
Yeah.
with her
Yeah, she sure did in the passenger side. Yeah.
and her flip phone.
And it's
So
right before lunchtime, so everyone's trying, and it's right. We were on the side of town where there's a bunch of like restaurants, so everyone's trying to get through their lunch hour or 30 minutes back and forth, and she's just there taking her little sweet old time.
she wasn't in a hurry to go anywhere.
No, she was not.
I've said that same thing, but for all drivers, like you say, like I've said that same thing too. Like there has to be a time where we can say, "I'm sorry, but you cannot drive anymore.
Yeah.
You cannot
Yeah.
be on the road. You cannot be behind a car." And yes, I know we want older people to be on their own. And,
Inclusivity? Wait, I think that was taken out, wasn't it?
That kind of makes sense because driving is considered a privilege, right? And you can have that privilege taken away by not following
The law.
by drinking and driving.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're not drinking and driving, but you're still driving like a dumbass, shouldn't you have
That
privilege?
revoked?
Shouldn't that privilege be taken away?
Or they could, go to what was it, North Carolina or South Carolina, and put them on the firing squad and just,
South Carolina.
just end it, man.
Just end them.
Get it over with.
Put them out of their misery.
Sorry, you don't know where you're going. Pew pew.
But you already have to renew your license every 5 years.
Yeah.
Might as well just have them take a test again.
Yeah.
Are they making it harder for people to get IDs? Because remember, you used to be able to go online and get your ID.
I think during COVID it was, but I think now it's back to normal-ish.
I mean,
So you
The wait
can
times
go.
are.
So I went
Online.
online because my ID broke.
Yeah.
I went online and I was able to, during that time when I was making it rain.
You gotta. It's every. I think every
6 or 7 years.
10. I want to say 10 years. Like
Oh,
you
it's
could.
10.
Like you gotta go. You gotta go and renew your picture like every 10 years.
Oh, okay.
So let's say
Yes.
you renew your picture. The next time you renew your license, you can do it online.
Yeah.
But
But
then-
because you only get, I think they only give you one online
Yes.
that you can renew and then you have to go back in.
No way.
Yeah.
Like your
And when you go
address-
back
like your
in,
address
they
can
do
be
a vision
changed.
test and they do your picture. They don't make you do a driving test, but they do your vision
Well,
and
if
then they
they're-
do a
if they're
picture.
70, then tell them, I'm sorry, go into this room over here, please. Because
Yeah, because the vision test is the biggest word on the thing. Red line one. E. Okay, you're good. Okay.
Now, let me ask you this question. So, when you're driving and you come across a driver that's, going 40 on the highway, or you're going 40 on the highway, or in like Sabrina's case, isn't turning when they're supposed to, is taking long, whatever it is. When you get beside them and look over, and you see, because you're expecting damn woman driver,
yeah.
or damn whatever, right? But you look over and you see an old person. Do you say, all right?
Hell no.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
Okay.
No.
To me,
No.
you know what? to me, it's based on my day, because I've done that before, and I see it's an old guy or it's an old lady. I'm like, all right, like, all right. You know, I get it, and I just keep going.
Yep.
And there's other times if I'm like either in a hurry or I'm having not a great day, and I get around, I'm like, damn it, like, get off the freaking road, like you shouldn't be here. You know what I mean? That's just me.
Is it us just being cranky? Not cranky, but cranky.
But cranky.
Like we're fucking getting older. I mean, is that what it is?
Yes. Y'all are definitely getting older.
Man. I don't know because
I don't know about the
Are we just cranky? Is that
Yep.
what I'm asking? Are
Yep,
we just
and
cranky?
yep. All three of y'all.
So
Boo!
I had 3 instances in the past 2 days with drivers.
All women?
And only one was a woman. But let me tell you what happened.
What was worse?
So two of them were guys, and they were just idiots and trying to go on the oncoming lane to pass everybody up, right? Just so that way, 15 minutes down the road, when I exit, he's right next to me.
You end up in the same
Yeah, and I'm
spot.
like, what a dummy, right? So yesterday, I think I had dropped off. Yes, I had dropped off one of the kids at school in the morning. So I'm coming back down Somerset, and as I'm coming back, this lady tries to come around me.
Oh.
And I'm like, it's one lane, and she comes around me, gets in front of me. So when you're coming down Somerset to get to 410, the line is super long because it's early in the morning and everybody's trying to leave, right? Super long. So she goes on to the right side. Now they've extended it 2 lanes, but on the right lane, it's a turn only. So
It's a long.
Yes, and
turn
so
right.
she's driving there looking for a spot to get in.
Get in, you
So what does she do? She gets in, and the car in front of her slams their brakes, and she nails that car from the behind. Right, nails it, and then the car behind her hits her. So those 2 vehicles were stupid damaged.
Karma.
Yes, stupid. And I'm
exactly what
thinking,
I
and I'm
said.
driving by, and I'm just looking at this lady like,
Stupid.
what were you in a hurry for? Now you're even later
Right.
for what you wanted.
And I hope you have car insurance.
Yeah, because it's all your fault. Yeah, but that was that one. You know,
and I
one
hope
lady,
the passenger in your car sues you too for injuries.
like my cousin, sued his own chick.
Fuck, dude, we're gonna get some money. We're gonna get some money off of this shit.
So yeah, crazy women drivers.
Well, I mean, if you're gonna argue with somebody and you're gonna tell somebody off, I mean, I would hope it would rather be a woman because a dude's gonna shoot you.
Women will shoot you.
I was about to say, man, I've been hearing some women.
I don't know, man.
I've been hearing
Well, I
some
haven't heard
women
a
pull
woman
out some.
shoot. I haven't heard a woman shoot anybody yet, but I always hear.
Well,
it's the
not
dude
in road
shooting,
rage, yeah,
you
but
know.
I mean, I think that's coming because I've been the last 3 freaking things on the news have been women shooting somebody,
I haven't heard.
and I'm
those.
like,
I just
man,
heard
like it's just.
I just heard it's the dudes shooting each other.
I don't even want to say nothing to anybody.
I don't. Yeah, no. I think it's only unless I know it's a woman. You know, I'll be like, yo, fuck, no, yo, what the fuck are you doing? But if it's a dude, I'm like, nice day, sir. Huh? Yes, okay, all right. So I wanted to bring up changing subjects abruptly. So there's these three lawmakers that are in Minnesota, and they're trying to introduce a law that is called basically, if anybody has anything bad to say about Donald Trump, they can be labeled as mentally ill, and it's called the Trump Derangement Syndrome Law. So these 3 people or senators or somebody in Minnesota introduced this law. Well, one of them, later that day, the day they introduced that law, later that day, gets arrested. Take a guess why. He got caught in a sting operation
Oh,
trying to have sex with a 17-year-old girl.
Be for real. I cannot. This seems like a trend now. Do you realize this? Like, who was
on
running
one
mate?
on what side, right?
Yeah, on his,
on a certain side.
on all
Yeah.
all his friends that he surrounds himself with, including himself, because he was in Epstein's pictures.
Oh,
Yeah.
and on his island.
Right. And then the guy, his old running mate, what was his name again?
Mike Pence?
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it was Pence. Pence
No,
was.
not Vance. The guy that he was
No,
going to have.
Pence.
No, Pence.
I know, it was not Pence.
Well, you just said Vance.
You said Vance.
I know, I said it wasn't Vance and
We
it
heard
wasn't
you.
Pence. It was the guy that was going to be his running mate before
Oh.
Vance stepped up.
Before,
The dude
before.
from New York.
Yeah.
Was it, what was his name? Not Giuliani. What was his name? And it ended up coming out that he was coming out for illicit behavior with underage kids.
Yes.
17-year-old or 16-year-old. Regardless.
I don't remember.
He and not one, not two, but three. So
Gates?
yes,
Gates?
yes,
Gates? What's his name?
Gates. I
Gates.
think Gaetz or Geatz.
Well, they said Marco Rubio was before Vance, but
No, it was Gates, and then he dropped. He was gonna
Gates,
have him be his
yeah.
running.
Bill
So
Gates?
he was.
no,
Nope.
freaking.
No,
I know who you're
he's-
talking about.
he's
It was
the
Gates or something like
He-
that. Yeah.
He was the one that a lot of them were coming out like, saying that he was messing around with homosexual boys and having some fun, maybe doing a
Yes.
little diddying on them.
Diddy.
Some sort,
Diddy.
you know.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, I think that I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up because it's like the way everything's going. It's like really like and now in Texas, some lawmaker introduced a bill to change the name of I-35 to President Donald Trump
Oh Lord.
Highway.
Hell.
That's not a. I don't believe that, man. That's
You know,
just-
it was in the current.
It was,
But they haven't dissolved it yet, right? He put in, yeah.
What?
He put in the what do you call those things that he put in
Like a bill?
kind of to dissolve the Department of Education.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He wants to.
Yeah. Put it onto the states. So
Anyway, I just wanted to bring that up.
what did you? I don't know if y'all saw the video or did y'all send it? I don't remember, but it was a. There was a. I don't know if you've heard, but they've been vandalizing all the Teslas, right? And not only the Teslas, but they're going to the Tesla plant and starting to they're protesting out
protesting,
there,
okay,
right?
yeah, yeah.
But they're already getting to the point where they're like, hey, they're gonna vandalize. If they do anything, they need to hold them to the full extent of the law. They need to hold them accountable, doing all this, right? And so one of the ladies is like, well, hold on. You want to hold them accountable and prosecute them to the full extent of the law, but the ones that did all that at the Capitol, you want to pardon.
6, yeah.
Like what's you know, and so of course it's a big old now argument about it, but I'm like, well, but Tesla stock did drop like 37%.
Yeah, he's got all his stockholders and all his people. They're worried,
Yeah, yeah,
really worried,
yep.
and that's why I turned mine back in. No man, and there was an article that came out that said that they admitted that parts of their Cybertruck were glued on because there's video of people like literally like ripping
Just
off
peeling.
sheets like from the front of the truck off because it was held on by glue. So there you go,
What did you see the video of the guy that
$100,000.
that I guess their trunk it's automated, right?
Yeah.
Kind of like the hatches
Oh,
from
yeah.
the
Yeah.
from the SUVs, right? Well, the trunk does the same thing, and so the trunk would go until they would put things there, and it wasn't stopping. So they did a update, I guess, because it's all computer now.
Right, yeah.
They did an update, and the guy puts a banana there, and it stops. And he's like, "Look, it stops." The ultimate test puts his finger there, and it freaking smashes it. I'm like, "Yep, that's your vice president, guys."
You can't hear that, but I got the trumpet going.
It's your vice president.
So what's going on? Well, you want to talk about your trip, or was there anything exciting going on?
Yeah,
on
it
the
was a
trip?
long ass freaking drive.
To Florida?
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, okay. When you have 7 people in the car,
Going to all those red states.
when you have 7 people in the car, and then you wanna, hey, we're gonna stop and take a picture at the state line, okay? And then everybody go to the bathroom, and then we're driving 45 minutes later. I gotta go to the bathroom. Here we go, right? So we drove to Dallas on Saturday. Went to go see my nephew and send him off because he's joining the army.
Right, okay.
So we went Saturday, stayed there, Left Sunday. We were supposed to leave at 6:30. You know how that goes.
In the morning?
Yeah, so we left at 8:30 in the morning Sunday. Took off and we got to our destination about 8:30, 8:45. So it was only about a 12-hour drive. It wasn't bad.
Wow. Oh,
We got there, good. Spent time on the beach, did the whole thing. It was actually a really nice time. Really nice time. Driving back, the storm that I guess hit was starting to go that way.
Uh-huh.
So tornado watch, doing all that. So drove through fog for the first 3.5 hours. Left at 7:30, got to New Orleans at right before 12. Got off. We went at 8, did a little bit of sightseeing, went to Bourbon Street, hit the casino, did the whole thing. So we were there for about 4 hours. Took off at right around 4 and took 30 minutes to get out of New Orleans because for whatever reason. Got to Baton Rouge, another 30 minutes because there was an accident on that long-ass bridge.
On that one,
That one bridge.
over the water.
Yes. So took another 30 minutes to get out of there. Stopped in Lafayette to get something to eat because everybody was hungry. Lasted 45 minutes there because those people don't know how to make food. It was a Church's Chicken, which
Oh, there you go.
Sabrina didn't know that Church's was based out of here, San Antonio. Well, there's a big old like tribute to San Antonio there on the thing. Texas chicken, blah, blah, blah. And didn't taste like the Church's here,
It tasted
right?
like crocodile.
Plus, they kept forgetting stuff, so we kept going. And hey, so 45 minutes right later, then we take off. We didn't get home till like 2:30 in the morning, 2:15, 2:30 in the morning. Just long ass drive, tired. And then babysat my granddaughter the next day to the following day. So it was a pretty long weekend.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy. New Orleans, I mean, it's not bad, but it's just a day thing, man. It's not. You don't want to stay there.
You want to be there at night.
You don't want to be there at night. Don't want to be there
So
at
when
night.
y'all went to the casino, though, where did the kids go?
So we took turns. So we only did that. We only did the casino for an hour. So I did 30 minutes. She did 30 minutes. So she stayed with the kids. I ran in. And then tag team, yeah. I tagged her in and she ran in.
Saca la mano.
Hey, and it didn't work because we lost. So whatever. We were just trying to get points so when we go back, we have a room to stay in. So it was
During No Pants July?
Yeah.
June? Is it
July.
June or July?
July.
No Pants July?
Yeah.
It's coming up fast.
So,
It's coming up.
it wasn't bad.
Tonight is your night, bro. Tonight is your night.
What I did learn though is they don't have chamoy or tajin in Florida, or not the part that we went to. They don't even sell it in the stores.
Florida.
Not only that, they don't dress their drinks at all. So like, she was like, "Hey, well, can I get it dressed with salt?" No, they just said no. They don't do that. We're like, okay, cool. I did have a flight of beer at McGuire's. It's an Irish pub. The flight was 6 beers, small beers, but still
Right.
beers, for $14. And they're all brewed by them.
Right.
So they're all from 5% to 8 or 9, whatever it was. Really good. All of them were good. To me, all of them were good. But
How many ounces were you glass?
I want to say
10?
I think they said 6. I think they were 8 to 10 because they were the not the full pint, but like the half one, and they were filled all the way to the top. So it was good though.
Bigger than the Fiesta drink.
Yeah,
Basically.
Yes.
Speaking of Fiesta, Fiesta's coming up.
Pew 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 pew.
I know. And it's been a year, right?
Yes.
Because that happened last year.
Well, did you see they're gonna put they're incorporating those new barricades
Yeah.
that they're now putting over there in New Orleans.
Yeah.
They're putting those here during Fiesta, so that way they don't have any crazy guy trying to
Like-
drive through and hit a crowd.
Yeah, the heavy duty barriers. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
More
even
money.
with that, we were talking about putting metal detectors.
Yeah.
Oh, they should put metal detectors at Fiesta. Now they got to put up these big fucking barriers.
Yeah.
So cars
And I
don't
think
go
they are going to
driving
do
through.
metal detectors in certain areas. So
See, that makes. I don't even know. I was like, maybe I'll go to Fiesta. Fuck that. I don't know.
if I go, I'm going during the day.
Yeah,
they go during the
Go to
day.
market.
And that's it. Yeah, you go to market and
that's it. We were gonna take the microphones.
But
We're
now,
gonna go down.
I don't know if you know
Yes.
now that the margarita pour off is going to be a Fiesta event now.
yes, but
No way.
it's at
St. Paul Square.
no,
SB.
SB.
That's the St. Paul Square.
Yeah, but it's not. It is, but it's not.
Fooled you. Yeah, it is. It's St. Paul.
So that's what it is.
It's
Yeah,
SB.
I guess it is there, right?
SP.
Yeah, you're right.
SP. St. Paul. St. Paul Square. That's
So-
where it's going to be at. But, well, I mean, at least it's during Fiesta, I guess.
But it was always, the wine. It was always in, I guess, the last maybe week of August or the first week of September. It was
Yeah.
always in.
Well,
Now you're just putting more stuff in place that don't need to have more stuff because more,
stuff
dangerous stuff
everybody
is happening.
downtown.
Yes.
I'm going to stuff everybody downtown.
I mean, that's the reason why they separated the carnival from Market Square was because they didn't want all this violence because...
They wanted the kids to.
Yes. But then there's still all this violence.
Yeah. It's all these fucking Edgar heads causing all this shit, man.
It's their fate.
It's their fate.
His free will told him to take that gun. And now he's in jail.
So was it? Speaking of free will, was it Will's fate to slap Chris Rock?
Hey!
Anyways, off of that subject.
Yeah, I know.
So I have a I don't know. I'm not gonna say a fun fact, but a crazy fact.
Oh, yeah, you did say you had fun.
Why were chainsaws first invented?
So Jason would have something to kill people with?
No, it wasn't Jason. It was Leatherface.
Leatherface.
It was Leatherface, but no,
Leatherface.
that's not why.
No, I don't know. Chainsaws? To
Quick
cut
guess.
down trees?
No, that's what they ended up evolving to, but no.
To cut the limbs off of people in the Civil War.
No, but you're getting warmer.
World War One. World War Two.
No, it wasn't.
Vietnam.
It wasn't just to cut the limbs off. What it was first invented for childbirth.
What?
Yes, they were invented for childbirth because when women were having trouble with childbirth, pushing whatever, they used it as a what was the word? It was to help them, I guess, open their pelvis so they can deliver the baby.
They need the whole saw part? I mean, couldn't they just make the motor?
I have no idea because I was looking. I was like, I'm hoping I can find a video or something.
They went pure Terrifier on the fucking people,
Bro.
man. I mean, what the hell?
Yeah, so it was used. It was a medical instrument used to help deliver babies for difficult births. Is what it was.
No fucking.
Yes,
Did that? I saw that on.
it was
Terrifier.
invented by a Scottish doctor named John Aitken and James Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
But it was a flexible saw, and it was so that way they could get in. It was like in the 1780s, so they could get in to aid and speed up the process of symphysiotomy, which is widening the pubic and pelvic cartilage, and the removal of disease-laden bone to help with the childbirth. So yeah, I don't know. It was crazy when I heard it, I was like, what the heck? And then some guy said, I think we could use that to cut trees down. And they did. So yep.
Well, after they cut that woman in half, they probably hey, we can't use it for this.
We
no
can't
more.
use this anymore.
We gotta use it for something else.
Yeah, Dr. Butterfingers over there. Like, oh shit. So what else is going on in San Antonio
I know. What has happened?
besides
All the damn shootings.
the Cafe Olay thing?
And they still haven't given a motive.
No.
But why take a gun to work? I think that was one of the questions one of y'all said or was asking. Like, why take a gun to work, dude? That's where the premeditation thing comes in.
Yeah.
Because you take a gun with you for protection. Wouldn't you leave it in your car, especially if you're going to work, right?
Yeah, if you're at work and you're not.
But see, this happened at 1 in the morning.
Yeah, it was 1:05 in the morning.
So I don't know if the dude that went home to go get the gun and then came back.
Did they say he did that?
They don't say. They haven't said nothing. They
yeah,
just say
they just said there was an argument, and then It does say that he just went up to the dude and shot him in the head.
Yes.
That's all it says.
Just walked up to
Just
him.
walked up
and
to
did-
him.
So were they arguing before?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
That's what it says. That they had an argument.
They had an argument.
and he went over there and then just shot him.
So I don't know if they had the argument. He went home, got his gun, and went back and shot him.
Shit.
They don't say nothing. I don't know why. What the fuck's their problem, man? You know.
So did he pay for?
Shit.
Did he have to pay for parking twice?
I'm pretty sure they get free parking for employees.
Do they really? Like, do they really? I don't know.
Nah, they don't.
They
Probably
don't.
not, man.
They pay for parking.
No, yeah.
I would imagine so.
Oh hell no! I'm not working
Yeah.
downtown.
What the- Who wants to work?
You better be
downtown?
paying me not minimum wage.
And not only that, they don't. Sometimes they don't. Okay, so let's say example because I didn't ask the people at Hooters, but example was where Hooters was, and rest in peace, Hooters River Center is.
Ah, it's not.
It's
There.
no longer there. It's not even the sign's not even there no more. But they used to park in the parking garage on Travis.
Oh damn! All the way out there.
All the way over there. There's a parking lot over there off of Travis and
By Houston.
Is that behind?
yeah, well
the
it's parallel to Houston.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that
Between Travis and
behind the
Houston.
Majestic?
Yes, right there in that area.
Yes.
That's a long way to walk.
Yes.
Yeah.
They used to park over there. They had to park over there in that garage.
So that would be so it was
And then,
free,
and then they had to walk.
But
No,
it
And
still
who was
was-
they
that?
still had to pay.
Who was that?
Wow.
The workers?
The workers from Hooters.
Why couldn't they park at River Center?
I don't know.
Park right across.
How would they know they were parking at River
Exactly.
Center?
Well, maybe it was free then. So that's why you would go over there because it was free. But
That's a long ass
But they
freaking
would
walk
walk.
though.
Dude, they had
They
to
would
walk
walk over
like.
there.
Or they would get on the bird.
if they had the bird,
Well, now it's something new. Now it's not the bird anymore. I saw it, Rye or I don't know what it's called. Now.
oh yeah, right, yes, that's that one.
Yeah.
Yes, that one's.
but
more
now they
of a-
have freaking.
Oh, the scooter
now they
thing.
got freaking pimped out little bikes
I seen those too.
with freaking pink lights underneath them, and what the hell?
They got like the big wheels.
Yeah, the big wheels. Because people kept falling off the scooters.
Well, you know who it was, right?
The cuz. Oh,
That's why they needed extra support.
you know we're talking about you had mentioned the drinking and driving, right? So a lot of people say, man, don't drink. I mean, don't drive, man. Just go. Walk home or call an Uber.
Uber.
35% of pedestrians hit and killed in the U.S. were over the legal limit of alcohol level.
What do you mean over?
The person hit. You can stay here. The person hit.
The person that was
The
hit.
pedestrian.
Oh, okay. He was drunk.
He was. They were over 30. 35% of the pedestrians that were hit and killed were over the legal limit of alcohol, bro.
Now I get it.
And I saw a video of this guy who they're trying. The officers trying. As much as I get on the officers a lot, right? This officer was at least trying to help this dude, saying, "Hey man, you keep falling. Like, let me just put you in the back of the car." No, I'm not getting arrested. You're not. I'm not gonna arrest you. I'm trying to take you somewhere so that way you're not in danger. No, I'm good. And he took off walking at an angle and sideways, and and I'm like, man. So I looked this up. Sure enough, 35% of pedestrians that are hit and killed are over the legal limit of alcohol. And then I ended up seeing that same statistic. I was watching on A&E. They have this new series, Ozark PD or Ozark whatever. Apparently, it's a big ass party town during certain times, and they have a strip of bars, kind of like at St. Mary's. Like they have that strip of bars.
Yeah.
It's like that, and you got drunk people all over the place. And that same statistic came out, and I was like, dude, that is crazy. That's crazy. So yeah, 35% pedestrians hit and killed.
So you have a better chance if you were in a car.
Well, you might kill somebody else, but you might not die. And if you do need an ambulance, be glad that you would get it here in Texas. Because in California, they penalize residents who have insurance for ambulance service. Because they passed a law in 2021, 2022. If you don't have insurance, the charge for an ambulance ride is $600. But if you have insurance, it's $1,300. So this dude was like, hey, I need an ambulance. And, oh, okay, yeah, we're going to send it over. What's the charge? It's $600. Okay, yeah. And he goes, so when I get there, do I just provide my insurance so that way it'll take it off? Oh, you have insurance? Oh, it's $1,300. Oh, can I just say I don't have insurance? Well, no, you already told us you do.
Well, I just canceled it. As we were talking right now, I just canceled it.
And he goes, can I just cancel my insurance? They're like, no, it doesn't work that way.
It's not on my phone anymore.
Yeah,
Cancel
so
it.
it's crazy. So if you're getting it here, it's only $500. It's only a $500 charge here. Over there, it's $600 if you don't have insurance, and $13 if you do. Crazy.
Is that why people are leaving California, or are there other reasons?
Well, that.
No, there's other reasons.
The fires, the cost of living. I mean, what you could get a house here for $200,000-$300,000, you're paying 1 point something million over there.
You get 3 houses. With what you
Yeah,
have to pay
it's
over there.
ridiculous, and that's what they're doing. It's coming over here and buying up houses.
Yep.
Cranky's favorite people.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh man.
So what's on Cranky's? What's
on Cranky's
thoughts?
mind?
What does Cranky have?
Dude, I had
in
a
mind
lot, but
today?
then I forgot. I forgot them all.
Let me do it like
You get,
bring it
Yeah.
up. Bring it up.
take a deep breath.
I know. Listen to y'all.
Don't hold it.
You know how when
I forgot because I was falling asleep.
you get one new thought and the old ones go out your.
I can only hold so
Yeah,
much.
All right, while he's thinking of his thoughts, I have a question. Why do people, maybe it's a two-part, why do people say, do you want me to be honest? And when somebody tells you that, what goes into your mind at the time,
Are they being honest?
right?
Well, you want me to be honest?
Yes.
Does it matter if they're a friend, if they're a family member? Whose advice would you take? Because if they say, "Well, do you want me to be honest?" Chances are, depending on who it is, they might tell you the truth. Is that what you're asking?
Well,
Is that
so here's the reason I ask. Because there are, especially when you're talking to somebody that you're comfortable with and you know, maybe, you care about, maybe it's a family member,
if I
maybe
don't
it's a
care
friend,
about 'em?
close friend, right? No, especially because if you don't care about them, you're
yeah,
not going to give a
like,
shit.
fuck that, huh?
You're not even going to start off, right?
Whatever.
But,
Do whatever you want, man.
but when somebody says that, to me, it's like them saying, no offense. Because they're going to say something offensive. So if you're saying, do you want me to be honest? The first thought in my head, because I heard somebody say that, right? The first thought in my head is, so are you not always honest with me? Like, do you lie to me?
Right.
And a lot of people will say, well, yeah, I'm not always truthful, but for their expense, to not hurt their feelings,
Yeah.
to not whatever, right? But does that benefit the person that you're not being honest to? Like, does it really benefit? It might spare their expense at the time. It might spare their feelings at the time. But if they go and encounter somebody else, whether it's their outfit, how does this look? Do you want me to be honest?
Okay, so does that happen more with women?
It's not the dress that makes you look fat. It's the fat that makes you look fat.
Oh my goodness! I think I had Arkansas taking Kansas too.
But does that happen more with women? Because I mean, think about when dudes are talking. Like if we're just talking,
Okay.
like, aren't we more apt to tell you the truth or not?
For the most
I mean,
part,
that's what I would think.
I think so, and maybe sugarcoat it, right? Now,
Or joke around.
oh, joke around, right? Make it a laughing expense. Now I'll tell you, yeah, I think it happens more with women, but I also think it happens a lot in couples, because couples, depending on how the relationship is, don't want to piss off the other person, don't want to upset them, and I think it goes both ways. And a lot of people always spin it to where it's like, well, the guy always doesn't tell the girl the truth because they don't want to have them in a bad mood, and then it ruins the whole thing, right?
I want to sleep in my bed, not the
Yes.
doghouse.
But I also feel it goes the other way, because sometimes, what if there's something the women want? And if the guy's not in a good mood or he's upset because you said something to offend him, then you're not going to get what you wanted.
Yeah.
Whether it was a bag, a date, food, whatever, right?
Well, I don't know, because maybe I might, maybe I'll sugarcoat it. But if the situation was reversed for her, I think she would say the truth.
I think, to me, just when somebody says that, I don't even want to hear it, because how do I know it's the truth now?
What if they said it at the end of the statement? Let's say, like, you ask them something and they'd be, okay, well, this. I'm just being honest.
Well, I think you're more likely to believe it.
You know
what I mean? I think you're more likely to believe well, okay, they told me and they were honest about it. Okay. But if they start off with, do you want me to be honest? Nah, bitch, I want you to lie to me. Yes. Of course I want you to be honest.
No, lie out your ass.
Yeah,
bitch.
I was asking you because I just want you to freaking...
Does my ass look big and these pants are not?
I just want you to tickle my balls. That's all I want you to do.
Just a tip. Just a tip.
I mean, come on, man.
You got to jiggle them, honey. You got to jiggle them a little bit. Why didn't anybody tell me my ass is this big?
So then when you go to court, or you go on trial, whatever, or you're a witness and they tell you, you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, you'll be like, yes. He's already lying. How many people lie under oath? That's what I want to know. I'm curious about that.
It's probably more than not.
Right? It's like a high percentage.
Yeah.
So then what's the point of saying, what's the point of that? What's the point of asking them, saying, do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth?
Okay, the point is, because if they catch them lying, then they can charge them with perjury. That's why.
Oh, okay, that's true.
That's why.
Good.
Yeah, but they have evidence.
Yeah.
Evidence. You gotta have evidence.
You gotta have facts.
You gotta have facts.
Yeah, now I'll tell you though, but that's the reason they do that, because you'll have, not so much an attorney, but you'll have the attorney's investigator,
paralegals and all that,
find out like, hey, I found out this dude's not telling the truth, because boom, then they can charge him with perjury, right? And then it could lead to a mistrial. It could lead to whatever, reduced sentence, whatever it is. So that's the reason that they ask, because they're saying you're under oath, meaning if you freaking lie, you could be charged.
Yeah.
You could go to jail. You could be held accountable. You know what I mean? So.
But what if I was drunk and I don't remember?
Or what if you just don't put your hand on the Bible?
I thought you said they didn't do that no more.
They don't.
Oh, okay.
But I was just saying.
Now, I'm under oath because you said.
Yeah.
It's not my decision to be under oath. You know why?
You could just plead the fifth.
But pleading the fifth pretty much like.
Like I didn't. No. I plead the fifth, yes. So you did it. I plead the fifth, so you did it.
I plead the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th.
So you did it. So you're saying you did it. I plead the fifth. Okay, so you're saying you did it. I plead the fifth.
Exactly.
Because it's not an admission of guilt, but it's not saying I didn't do it either. Yeah.
Can you do that? Can you still do that?
Yes.
Yes.
Dude, I literally just saw the guy that. Did you see the guy that? The one from last year or 2 years ago, where the real heavy set dude was going after the officer, didn't have a weapon, but he's going after the officer, and the officer's telling him to get back. I think it was a DPS.
Oh yes.
And he shoots him.
Yes.
So he's on trial right now, or no? He was being
the trooper's on trial.
Yes, he was being interrogated or not interrogated, questioned by the grand jury. Yeah. And every question, I've been advised by my counsel not to answer that question. Mm-hmm. So he's pleading the fifth is what he's doing,
right.
But he's doing what Lil Wayne did when he was asked all these questions. I've been advised by my counsel not to answer these questions. So you can still do that, but you're using bigger verbiage.
I don't have to answer those questions.
Sir, you just dropped your wallet. I don't have to answer nothing. I know my rights.
So I saw this thing because we always talk about those what are they called? I was gonna say truthers, but I was gonna say what are they called?
True crime?
No, the ones that record everything.
Oh, the audits.
The audit people,
yeah.
right? And it was
Audits.
yeah.
Audit.
Well, there was one. I think it was here in San Antonio, and the guy was getting, talked to by the police or whatever, and the guy that was recording was just being he was being a little bitch. Like they were being nice to him, like sort of like, and I found out these different rules, right, that they have now, that if the officer considers themselves to be in danger, they can make them either move away. They don't have to stop them from recording because obviously they can't, but they can make them move somewhere else, or they can arrest them. Mm-hmm. So, and that's what they're trying to fight. But it's like, no, the judge said, he made a ruling. If they feel like they're in that, if there's a danger event going on that they're trying to handle, and this dumbass is right here 5 feet away with a fucking camera, they can arrest him, or if he doesn't move away.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
What was you sent a video?
No, it was Roger's 30-minute video that he sent. Oh,
I think you sent a video the other day of I forgot what it was, man. Of somebody who was video recording something, and I kind of felt I forgot how. Man, I gotta look.
Which one was it?
I don't know if he sent it to. I don't know which group he sent it to. We have so many groups, man. Jeez.
we do.
A bunch of groupies.
Well, usually our group is the baseball one.
Yes, that one. Yeah.
We keep the sports in that one.
We usually keep the sports in that one. Well, okay, so I'll say this. So my son got pulled over the other day.
Oh,
right. He was in my truck because his truck was being worked on, and I'm on the phone with him at the time. He's like, "I think I'm getting pulled over." I said, "What?" He goes, "Yeah, I don't know why."
Oh, there's a bunch of lights and everything.
So he pulls over and he goes, "It's a female officer. I'm going to jail." I said, "You should have pulled the freaking not at the Roxbury, so I have a date with you on or before."
Whatever you say, TJ Hooker.
Hey, Pocahontas.
And he goes, I didn't think she was gonna give me a citation. She asked me, you know why I stopped you, or you know how fast you were going, and I was like, tell her I don't answer any questions. But he just told her, he's like, no, I mean, I figured I was going 74 because the car in front of me was going 74 in the 65. And she goes, no, you're going 84.
I got him.
She goes, I clocked you going 84 past me, and but I'm gonna say that you were going 80. And he was like, there's no way I was going 80, and they're going back and forth. And he goes, she was real nice though. So she went back to her car with my ID, and I'm thinking she's gonna give me a warning. And she came back, here's your citation. It's not an admission of guilt, but I'm like, here we go.
Oh my god. So, and the reason I brought up that one is because that video that I was looking at, because there was two separate videos. Uh-huh. One of them, it was kind of like a lawyer guy, and he was talking about these auditors, and the reason what was happening was the guy was having a mental, what do you call it? A mental episode, and the cop was trying to deal with him, and the guy was telling the one that was recording was the guy in the truck that the police were dealing with was trying to tell the guy that was recording, hey man, get back, like get out of here, like don't record me, I'm whatever. So he kept on, and of course they're telling the guy, sir, like please just move back. He's like, oh, I can be here. I was like, I know you can record all you want. You can record,
but stand across the street.
Just go stand across the street.
I do remember that.
Right. So he was telling him that, right?
You find it?
But there was another video that was here, and it was basically the same thing because they were trying to deal with this dude, and they were giving him problems, and they told the guy, they said, hey, you need to move back.
Yeah.
I'm here. That's my right. And so-and-so versus so-and-so says I can. Shut the fuck up, dude. Shut the fuck up.
And that's what Cranky's always saying about Roger's videos. Was like, dude, they're just dicks, man. They're just creating a bigger problem.
Yes.
Right? They're just creating a bigger problem.
They're making a problem. Because there is no problem in beginning with until they start recording.
But it's true, though. The officer, especially with everything that's going on nowadays, right? Where you see a lot of officers that are being attacked and stuff. If I'm handling a situation and I'm an officer, I'm definitely going to have my head on a swivel. Because I don't know if this dude has somebody else with him. So if I see somebody over here with a camera, I don't know if he's with them. I don't know if they're with that person. So I'm gonna turn around and be like, hold on, man. Hey, can you just step over here?
Yep.
Record all you want, but step over there. Let me handle my situation. You can't be in my face trying to record. Hey, that's what a Zoom is for.
Right.
And according to Porky, they have the best cameras. You can zoom from across the street, you know what I mean?
Hey, I saw the flag on the moon. the other day.
So did I. I sent you the video.
No,
I sent you the picture.
You lie. You lie. You're a liar.
You know, but I'm like, I get the officer's point in that sense, right? In that situation. You don't have to be right on my back recording.
Yeah.
You can be over there. I don't care if you record. Now, some officers do, and they take it a step further, and that's where they're wrong. But the ones that are saying, dude, record all you want, but go over there.
Yeah, move.
But when
Get out
they're
of here.
there in the actual, melee that's going on, then that's when they become hey, come here. Let me see your ID. Let me see your ID. Who are you? Who are you? Because they don't know if they're together.
Right. Yeah.
And that's when I don't see a problem with them asking.
Yeah. And it's like, what do they do? Do they follow these cops around? Because how is it that he came up on this traffic stop, and all he just poof out of wherever? Now he's recording this stop.
Yeah.
What was the one you were going to talk about?
Oh, I wasn't gonna talk about it. It was an example of what we're talking about. How the one you sent was the person that walked into the bar, and it was the bartender was like, "We don't serve.
Oh yeah.
we don't serve you because of the shirt you're wearing."
Oh,
the hat,
yes.
the MAGA hat.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
the MAGA hat.
And I
Yes.
told Porky, I said, "Well, they got the right to not serve.
Yeah.
Whoever
they have
refuse
signs.
service. Yeah, they can refuse service to anybody anytime.
Yes.
For anything.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
No
But-
shoes, no shirt, no service,
Yeah.
whatever.
But my point, my example, I was using that example because what I was gonna say is like when people go somewhere with their camera on already,
Yes.
it's already it's instigate. They're instigating
Right.
already. They already know that they're gonna start something if they have their camera on already.
Yeah.
That's what I was. That's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
I was wanted to say.
Well,
So I was using that as an example.
So, and actually, so what happened in that, to your point, is the issue had already happened.
That's what I was. So
So she went back in.
So
So-
the issue already
Okay.
happened.
So
So,
I was
they
gonna-
went back in.
I was
with
gonna
the
say that
the camera on.
because what's Cranky's response all the time? Hold on, you're showing us this.
Right.
What's happened before?
Right.
Well,
Yeah.
So when they walked in with that camera, I already knew that something had already. They had already
Already
had an
happened.
encounter
Right.
where they decided, okay, now I'm gonna turn on my camera, and then you're gonna
Yeah.
hear the rest of the video. I don't think there was an edit. I just think that's the time they turned on their camera.
Right.
Because something had already happened. There was already a confrontation.
Yeah.
There was already something said, and this is what happened. And this is why I hate a lot of the time when they post these videos. Dude, there was a guy, and I don't watch this stupid shit. I don't know why it came out on my freaking feed. On my For You, right? But there's a guy that I guess buys sneakers all the time. This guy comes in and is trying to sell them sneakers, and they don't want them because they've already bought some. So they're sitting there, and he's like, bro, I'm only gonna offer you this much. Which was way less than what he was gonna offer him, what he had offered him before. And the guy got all pissed off, and he was like, "Oh man, I drove an hour, bro. Come on, right?" Well, that guy first posted the video first, the customer,
Yeah.
and it made these guys look like an asshole, like bad.
Because they showed everything, probably.
Well, no, it was his video, the customer's video, so it made them look like an asshole.
Oh, got you.
Well, then the guy that owns the shop was like, "Bro, here's the entire video.
Right.
Shows the whole thing." And he's like, "This dude was in the wrong,
Yeah.
right?" And so this is why, like, when Cranky always brings up what happened before, I'm glad this dude had a camera rolling to
Right.
show all that because it showed that he wasn't the problem.
Right.
This guy was the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't always get that. Like, every time I see a video, especially when it starts like that, I'm like, hold on.
And
What
the-
happened?
The lady that went in with the Megatron. I mean, come on. Let's first of all.
You're asking for
You're
problems.
going into the bar. You know what type of bar it is. You know the issues that are
It
going
was an
on in
LGBTQ
America.
bar. It was, and we could say it.
I mean, I don't
And
know if
you-
it was or not. The
and-
bartender was, but
There's-
there was people there already
There
sitting
was
down. They
people
didn't-
that
I didn't see
they
them.
went in to
you know.
look for the bar and they screenshotted the picture of Google
Yes.
on Google Maps. And it shows what the outside
It-
of the
it-
bar
it
is.
ha- it had a
so
flag.
when you see it,
Right, it
it's
had a
like,
color flag, right?
Hey, that signifies to me that it's a specific type of bar.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, we can say it's a gay bar. It's a gay bar, right?
okay.
They could tell because they had the flag out in front.
Yes,
They had
yes.
so this person decides to wear a MAGA hat, walking into a gay bar, What do you think is gonna happen?
With everything that's already going on right
Yes, with the
What is gonna happen?
with the dissolvement of the DEI,
and,
like you gotta know that these people are already up in arms, being like, dude, we don't want you around.
now, they were expecting for something to happen.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, because that's what I'm saying. That's why they went in with the camera on.
So when the lady that was wearing the MAGA hat, she of course came out and posted a video and was talking about. She said herself, "Well, we walked in and we were expecting to, have a couple of drinks and blah blah blah, and they told us we had to leave." Well, bitch, you just got your camera and you walked right back in there. What do you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
They're going to say, "Oh, you have a camera on? Come on, come on in. What do you want? What do you want? A beer? What do you want?" I mean, come on.
Hey, if I was a bartender, I would have said,
man.
"Yeah, come on in.
I mean, you could
Let's
be-
see what you get."
You could be the better person and do that. Could take the higher road and do that.
I don't know.
But I think it was their fate.
Yeah, there you go. It's their free will. Their free will.
See,
Oh, what does Sabrina have to say?
What did I miss? I had to leave to pick
a
up children.
lot.
You didn't hear that
Nah,
story?
you missed that much.
No, I'm sorry, I missed it. Oh, about the bar.
Yeah.
I thought it was a setup. I thought it was like staged for a skit. To be honest, was it not?
No, it was real. It was-
Oh,
really
I haven't
happened.
seen it.
But what we were saying is that there was already an altercation before the video started.
Which is typical for
Yeah, so this person just ended up going back into the bar with the camera on now,
and asking why aren't you
With the
serving me?
with the thing already escalated.
escalated. Yeah. So at that point, these people were saying, "You got to just get out of here."
Because it makes sense as to why that bartender was so pissed off that
Yes.
she was going to
They-
grab a bat.
They grabbed a bat.
grabbed the bat and was
Yes.
ready to fucking pummel him.
They lit a fire and then they just went back in with gasoline.
Yes,
all they
exactly. Exactly.
Basically.
I mean, it just you think about it and you say like, okay, I'm not gonna walk into a bar or a restaurant or wherever, a business, right, a place of business, and they're gonna be pissed off at me.
Yeah.
There's no way. That's not happening.
Now the only time that they do turn you away is if they see you drunk already.
Well, yeah.
You know, but do they even turn you away?
Yeah, they-
Because
I've seen it done
Speaking,
before.
are you speaking from
I'm like, you got
experience?
turned away. Because I've seen people when they walk in and they're like, "Let me get you a glass of water."
Yeah.
Some do that.
So I've seen for two reasons, and I've seen it actually posted in most bars at this point, especially in South San Antonio, where it says they can. No offense, because I love my South Side, but most bars will say that they have the right to refuse service to anybody. First of all, if you've been served too much, and they can tell immediately that you're too inebriated. Or two, you have offensive or offensive clothing or gang related affiliated clothing, right?
Okay, yeah,
And they can just I would argue to say as that person, like if I was wearing, say I supported, I always usually wear my school branded stuff. Today I'm wearing UT. How ironic.
They lost it.
I know. Anyway, if they decided to refuse service to me because I'm wearing UT stuff, I'd be like, what the hell? I'm suing for discrimination because what did I do to you? I'm not drunk.
And we're starting at 2.8
Right. Minimum.
million.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
In our
That's the
bag
bar.
season, yeah. So,
She has one too.
We're starting at 50 million now.
That's the bar.
Yeah,
That's
for
the
sure.
bar where we're at.
But I mean, now the society that we live in, Trump has kind of made, and that's them shooting their own foot, discrimination against who you decide to follow against the rule. So
Yeah.
now discrimination would be out of the court. They couldn't sue for that. And it then leaves it at the bar owner at their own discretion. They can decide, I'm going to refuse service for the sole purpose that all of my patrons that are in here on a normal basis feel offended because of what you're wearing. They could have said, take the hat off and we'll still serve you. Yeah. They didn't. They just flat out said, you can leave. The same way they have the right to say if someone walked in there with a flag, I don't know what kind of people still wear flags these days, or they have a tattoo that says Orejon. If you have a gang affiliated tattoo or shirt, or you have no shirt on or a biker vest, they can say, we don't want you in here because we don't want to be
Well, and there's a lot of bars, not only in the South Side.
Right, it's a dress code.
Yeah, there's a lot of bars now that when you're walking in, there's a sign that says no colors, no affiliations, no, it doesn't matter.
They have that at RJ's? Or
They have it everywhere. Dude, they have it at
Really?
Grass.
That's
They
what
have
I'm
it
saying.
everywhere.
Especially you see it more on the South Side, like the rowdier bars.
Yeah.
Now, when they tell me I can't be in there because I have Crocs on or I have slides, now I got a problem. But whatever.
Let it be
I wanna
known
be
that
comfortable.
I'm like, you know how my hips hurt right now, man? Damn. You know how old I am?
I tell him, that way everyone knows for the record, I tell him before we leave the house he should not be wearing those to the bar. He doesn't listen to me. Okay? You 50-year-olders.
I'm gonna let you in, bro.
Are starting-
We tried to go somewhere and I was in joggers and they weren't letting me in. And she was like, you see? She wanted to really go in there.
We leave this house, he'll ask me, does this look okay, babe? And to avoid hurting his feelings, I'm like, yeah.
Do you want to be?
Oh, you missed. Hold on. So you missed.
That's what you missed.
So you missed the conversation. I said, when somebody says, if you ask a question and somebody says, do you want me to be honest?
Oh, I just posted this. I literally it's on my story literally right now.
Oh.
And you don't want me to be, so I'm gonna.
No, okay,
say
I saw that. But no, what I'm saying is, let's say you go to a friend or you go to a loved one or you go to somebody, right, that you're comfortable with, and you ask them, or they ask you a question and you say, do you want me to be honest? What's their thought? So like me, I was telling them, I'm thinking, then when aren't you honest with me? Because if you're having to tell me that, it's like me starting a conversation, no offense,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say something offensive. Like
Exactly.
So when you say that, like, what, do you really want me to be honest? So she just showed that she's not honest with me all the time because she tries to be. She's like, no, you look fine, babe.
She
you
must
look
want
fine.
She must want something.
When we're going out, he asks every single time, do I have to wear my boots? And what do I tell you?
Yes,
Yeah. Do I have to wear this shirt? Yeah. I'm honest with you.
she is.
I'm very honest with
She
him.
doesn't tell me, do you want me to be honest? She just
No.
says, nope.
I say, let's try this, babe. Let's try. What else do you got in the
What
closet?
did I say? What did I say?
What
like,
other
right?
options do
like
we
if
got?
if they ask me, I'll
Yeah.
be like, oh, well, no, you look good like that. Oh, but if I tell her something, she'll be like, no, you're not wearing that. No, you're not gonna take that. No.
Exactly.
Cracky
That's
said,
what I'm saying.
he goes, if you ask, do I look fat in this?
It's not.
It's not the it's not the dress that makes you look fat. It's the fat that makes you look fat.
That's fair. That's fair.
So
But, yeah.
so we talked about that, but going back, so you know that there's a couple of bars here in San Antonio that are
Affiliated.
quote unquote Republican bars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one called the White Elephant. There's another one called something else. Those are straight out owners have come out and said, "Oh yeah, we voted for Trump." All this other stuff. Am I gonna wear a Joe Biden shirt
Yeah.
and walk into that
Kamala.
bar?
Yeah.
Or
Right.
Yeah.
Kamala, yeah.
Am I
say
gonna
Kamala because
do that and walk
Yeah.
into that bar?
You're asking for attention, and you're gonna get it.
Yes.
And
And you're gonna get it.
And
Yeah.
that's what happened with these people
100%.
taking a fucking MAGA
Yep.
hat to-
chingadera.
yeah, into a
I mean, come
freaking
on, man.
gay bar, yeah.
Yeah, it was intentional. That's why I thought for like immediately I was like, this is a skit, or they did it on purpose just to get a rise and to get
And they did.
to get paid for it, and they succeeded because there's what.
Yeah, because they went viral.
They were all over the news.
Well, and they went
probably
viral,
talked
though.
to Fox. They probably did. I mean, all
Yeah,
that.
and they were probably at like 2 million views, so which is getting them paid.
50 million.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, that's what I wanted to say. Speaking of 50 million, because well, we're going off topic again.
No,
Wait,
go ahead.
wait, there is no topic.
There is no topic right now.
There's
Go
no
ahead.
topic. We're all over the place.
So there's a new video out about the Starbucks person
Uh-huh.
that spilled
Yes.
their coffee, whatever.
I missed that one. What did they do?
They were giving coffee in a
Carrier,
holder,
in
in
a
a
holder.
carrier. But one of the lids apparently wasn't on secured. And so it fell in the guy's lap and burned his genitals. So Starbucks is having to pay $50 million.
50.
Oh, why can't you go burn your balls for the team?
I would.
You know what we could do with that?
I would.
Got enough
She
kids.
wasn't-
Yeah, we got enough kids already. We
Right.
ain't trying to make any more.
She wasn't lying about that.
Come
she told
on,
you
man.
straight up.
So I want to
one for the
know.
team.
I want to know how. Okay, because this is my thing. I went to McDonald's the other day.
He's like, how can I sue them? What
Yes.
do they do wrong?
Check this out. I don't know what do the people do wrong, the ones that get burned. Because I went to McDonald's the other day and I bought 2 coffees, and I asked them, can I get a cup holder? And they gave me the cup holder. They don't give me the cup holder with the coffee in it though. They give me the coffees first,
And then the
and
empty
then
cup
they give me
holder.
the empty cup holder.
Smart.
To put the coffee in myself, right? Really? So I did that. I put the coffees in the cup holder, and I put the cup holder on the passenger seat because I was on my way to work in the morning. So the coffee sitting there in the morning. I mean, the coffee sitting in the coffee seat. And I'm driving, and I forget about it. and I hit the brakes. Right? I hit the brakes, but I didn't hit them hard. I just like, and I forgot that the coffee was right on the passenger seat. So of course it fell, but they didn't open.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Aha.
So props to McDonald's for one.
Shout out. Okay.
Where's the spoon?
And I want to know now, like, who's at fault now? Like, are they really not closing the freaking lid tighten? Because
You can. I mean,
obviously McDonald's lids are. Well, I mean,
They're
for
sturdy.
one, they learned their lesson back
They're
in the
solid.
80s.
Yeah.
You know.
But if you think about it, it doesn't matter anymore, according to now the jury that sided with the girl from Bill Miller's, because theirs was closed tight. It was her opening it and spilling it, and it was just too hot. So because she was never informed that it was hot, she got 2.8 million.
So then this is okay.
So
pause.
she was negligent.
So then why-
But it wasn't them being
So then
negligent.
pause. Has this person won yet?
Who?
Starbucks person?
Starbucks. Yeah, they already got.
Yeah, they won
already
too. They
awarded
won
him.
50 million.
Well, it said Starbucks paid 50 million. It doesn't so much mean that he got all the 50 million, but I know he got paid a big chunk.
I would argue their lawyer must not be great then. I would argue to say it's user error because the second I handed it to you, it was intact.
No, it wasn't. So
And if the temperature,
the video, the video shows that one of them was not on properly.
then that's where the liability falls on them.
Yes,
Because
and that's why they were. But
for
still,
one, and
50
two,
million?
and two, they do have to check the temperature of the liquid, and they should already have a gauge on the outside of it if they're established. At all times, they should know that, like how the beer is at Twin Peaks. They should know how hot that liquid is,
32 degrees.
and it should be the beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the coffee shouldn't exceed a maximum amount, or it could cause burns. But all the cups that we get from them says caution, hot.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
the
it?
lid wasn't on correctly.
I mean, yeah. So in that case, it is on the person who handed
know-
it over, and they are representing Starbucks.
Yes.
So
You know what we have to do?
go get a coffee from
Yeah,
Starbucks
there's
right
a-
now.
No, there's a coffee place right around the corner. We can go check out.
Dutch
Hell
Bros.
yeah.
No.
No. He's
Banging
talking,
beans.
if
You know.
there has been any failed system a part of that corporation, Crank has caught it. He's been there more than enough times to know the ins and outs, insides as the
Hey,
outs.
you know what though?
50 million because
Of
you
the
didn't
bean.
give me
No.
a straw.
No, you know what? Why don't somebody go? It's gonna be incriminating, but get burned. You're not gonna get 50 million from that little thing because they're not really
Small
big.
time, they're small
However, you might own the business.
And we'll, what is it called? What do you call when you
Rebrand it.
Rebrand it. There you
Yes.
go.
We'll be branded like the one in Houston.
Like the one I used to.
Topless Tuesdays.
Woo woo! Let's do it. Let's do it for our country. Hot coffee.
Hot coffee.
Hot pot of coffee. Anything else, man? You got anything else on the record? Sabrina, nothing?
Mm,
You didn't have anything else?
I don't know. Did we already talk about Department of Education?
No, that they're dissolving it.
Yeah.
It hasn't happened yet, but that's where he's headed.
Yeah. Did we talk about the local?
We talked about Cafe Olé a little bit.
The kid that, oh my gosh. There was a kid that was left in a restroom this morning.
That's right.
Yeah.
So what was it? What
in
was
the,
that?
in the east side, right? Southeast side?
Southeast side.
You said it
There's,
was the one on Hot Wheels?
I think it's
That's the only one I know that's in front of the fire
yeah,
station.
I want to say it was Hot Wells.
Right there off 37.
37, yeah.
137.
And I want to say there's an act now that, like, what is it called? The Safe Haven Act or
Yep.
something?
It's yeah.
Let me look it up.
It was
real quick.
actually named after whatever the kid was
Baby-
though. But
Baby
yeah.
Moses.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah, Baby Moses,
And
yeah,
you
the
can
Moses, yeah.
literally just like take the kid to. I think there's like an age limit though. What is it? 5? I don't know. Months? Is it months old?
I don't know. Is there an age limit?
Safe haven laws allow parents to anonymously relinquish newborns to designated safe haven. I don't know. It says all 50 states do. It is Baby Moses law. All 50 states are in cahoots, but it doesn't say the age limit. But you, from what I understand, you can like, if the child is in danger, you can at any time pull up to a hospital and be like, I can't do this anymore. And what they did instead was they took this kid to a QT. People are listening that aren't from here. It's in the local corner store. And they left the baby in the restroom
With a note.
with a note attached to him that said, my mommy and my daddy don't want me anymore.
Oh my
And someone else found him in there
What?
crying in the restroom. And yeah. What's crazy to me though is that there's cameras in these stores. Like, this isn't a Rink-a-Dink. If you're not from here, this is not a Rink-a-Dink corner store. This is probably like
That's probably one of
what
the cleanest.
what
it's
Diamond
one of-
Shamrock used to be.
Yeah, one of the
at one
cleanest
point.
stores. There's
Yes,
cameras all
yes,
over
they're
the
the
place.
HEB to me of corner stores. They do have a
Very
little bit
clean.
of everything.
Yeah.
They are pretty clean. They have really nice restrooms. Their restrooms are nicer than the usual. So like they have well lit areas. You can't go in or out of there without being on camera.
But you know what? But they did it wrong because they do have signs at QT that say it's a safe haven place.
Oh really?
They do.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They do.
So that changes everything.
Next time you go, check it out.
So, but
you
I
can go to
thought-
this one, and it says there's a yellow sign, and it says safe haven place
Where at? Like when
at QT.
When you're
So-
walking in,
No. It just has it there out.
So
out.
I thought it said a safe drop off area because you can do like drop offs for like parents who are on their weekends. Like if you have parents who
Oh, maybe that's what it
who have a
means.
child custody area.
like the Bill
So
Millers
if
on
it's-
90 and
it depends.
Hoban.
Yeah. So if it's acronymed, you missed it.
Yeah, I
So
know.
the police stations.
sorry, I was looking up another toddler.
It's okay. The police stations in San Antonio are safe drop-offs, and it's it's an acronym.
The fire
SAFE.
stations are?
Yes, no.
Oh, police
the
stations?
police stations. And you pull up and you drop off. It's a well-lit, video-recorded area where you can meet to drop off your kids with your
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
non-custodial parent on their weekends
Yes.
if there's an order in place, right? And so I'm not. That's what I thought QT was. I didn't think it was a drop-off place for kids. So
Well, maybe they misunderstood then. Them
either
too.
way, the kid is 4. I don't know if y'all have 4. I mean, everyone in this seating area has had a 4-year-old at some point. I think Pork's kid's probably the closest one to that age. I cannot imagine leaving a 4-year-old at a freaking gas station with a backpack and a note. Like
I walk into the store holding that kid's hand.
They left
Right.
them in the restroom?
they left him in the restroom,
What
and
the-
not a locked restroom because I think most of the QTs have like 2 stalls to a
Yeah.
restroom, so it's not like a one-use lock it and then
Yeah, but
that's
the
it.
4-year-old's not gonna be able to open the door to get out.
No.
So that's
So
why
he
they left
stayed
him
in there, and then a man walked in and found him in there crying. And then he brought him out and was like, "Where are his parents?" And then they looked around and they saw in his backpack was stapled a note. And then they had to call the police.
Well, in Greenville, Texas, a 3-year-old is clinging to her life after suffering a gunshot wound to the head while inside a car parked outside of a Hunt Country Regional Medical Center. There was a 22 caliber rifle in the car. The mother heard the gunshot because left the toddler in the freaking vehicle with the gun. Heard the gunshot, went back, saw that the kid had been shot in the head, picked up the kid and ran to the hospital. Well, how are you leaving a 3-year-old in a freaking vehicle by itself and with a gun? This is just the craziest
This
stuff.
shit that's going on.
Yeah.
So I have to fact check myself. So QT is a safe place, but that's not exactly what it's for. It's been designated safe place where runaways and at-risk youth can come in off the street, receive food and drink, and wait for a volunteer from a safe place agency to connect them with professional help or a place to stay.
Oh, so but a 4-year-old wouldn't fall underneath that category.
No, I'm guessing not. If they
Oh,
were
and the
left
kids
by
are hungry. Can we not just send them to QT and just say,
We have some hungry teenagers that we'd like to turn into you. Like, guys, field trip.
we're like, I want something from, hey, run to QT real quick and just
I will
tell them
say,
that you're hungry.
you know how many times I literally just got asked before I came back here, can you stop at QT on the way home?
Yeah.
Oh my, it's like a field trip for these
It
kids.
is. No, I was asked
They
that
would
on the
love
way
it.
home too, and I was
Yeah.
like, ah, nope.
They're
It wasn't-
bamboozling us.
Yes, they are.
They would love that.
Hey.
Y'all want to go to QT?
Hey, y'all can go over there and just say that you're hungry and homeless, and they're gonna give you food and a drink.
You could probably get the hot dog.
Yeah,
or
the
You won't live here no more.
pizza.
You won't live here no more. But hey, you're gonna get the hot dog. You might get the pizza slice and a Red Bull. Did you see that?
You were supposed to whisper that part.
Oh,
You can't
the
live here
sign.
anymore.
Did you see the sign when you're putting gas? It says, pizza slice and Red Bull for $5.
That's pretty
And
good.
there's draft coffee now.
Yes.
Draft
My kids
coffee.
love
Like,
drinking my coffee.
You just go and pour the coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have that like at the QTs.
Oh, yeah.
It's a heck of
I've
a
seen that
deal.
too.
I wouldn't recommend it, but it's there.
Hey, so I did see a meme, I guess. I don't know.
What is that?
It says a meme. It says me and my wife discussed and we decided we don't want to have any children. So we're gonna go tell the kids tonight.
It's terrible. Starting today, we give up.
Starting today,
Sorry.
we don't want any children.
It's just not for us.
Not for us.
The
Can't
God-
do this no more.
Our
But-
God has other plans for
But
us.
we can take them to a QT.
Yeah, but there is a place you can go.
Yeah. And it's just not our predetermined fate.
Yeah, it wasn't
Sorry,
it wasn't
we're
our
not-
fate to
we're
have
free
kids.
puppets of fate. It's within our free will to abandon you.
The
Yes.
universe
The
was
universe
talking
has got y'all.
to these guys.
Yes.
And they
The universe has us, and the universe has y'all.
It helped them decide that
Yeah.
they no longer want you.
Right. It's just not. Sorry, it's not y'all. It's us. It's not you. It's me.
Not you. Holy crap. That it?
I guess that's it, huh?
Yeah, that's all I had. That's all I can remember.
Safe place.
Local.
Safe place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Local.
All right then. I guess that's it. We went.
Yeah, we're gonna get.
We went a little long.
We got the
Oh, yes,
we got
my-
the kids
sorry.
over here talking about Astrovino. We are gonna get to that.
Wait. The kids are on the side. They want us to give us a memorial to Astrovino's TikTok page because it got banned. The Astrovino
What happened?
era is
I don't want to go into it now. What?
No, we're not gonna go into it, but we
No,
are
I'm
just gonna
saying-
give the memorial. We're gonna give the.
All I'm saying is that the Astrovino era is over.
Hey, hold on. They're all excited, right? But yet they were the ones there.
Yeah. Knowing
Astrovino.
everything.
You know what happened with Astrovino?
You know,
Look, and then they're
everything
sending the
about
videos.
and Chucho and Chicha and all, and
Hey.
this one over here was talking shit
No,
to that one, and that one
no.
was talking
This one
shit to
over
this
here,
one.
the oldest one over here, trying to send my sister videos, and they're going back and forth because my sister's all into it too.
So his sister and her are I was gonna say neighbors. They're not neighbors.
They're close. She let them live close.
His sister is in a different tax bracket than her on a totally another level, and it's very visible by the lifestyle that they live.
Yes.
I mean, this girl lives. If you looked her up, lives in a duplex.
We passed
double
it.
duplex.
We passed it.
We didn't. She did. She sent us a video.
Oh yeah, she sent a video of the it's a
And
bad
she
dude.
has bed bugs.
And she has bed bugs.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Didn't they come
She has
out when
one,
she
but her
was
kids
she was
don't.
like doing a live or something, and
Yeah.
the bed bug was
just
like,
fell out. Yeah, just on the pillowcase behind her. Crazy times. Well, the era is officially over.
Hey, she's gonna come out on something else, man. Don't worry.
it's called OnlyFans.
The roaches don't die.
They multiply.
multiply.
Yeah, they're like babies.
They're like
kids.
baby age kids.
We don't die. We multiply. All right, I think that's it.
I think that's it.
I think we're done.
I think we're done.
Yes.
We're way over tape. We're way
May
over.
one of us here win the $1 million from the March Madness.
No, I'm just gonna go to Bangin' Beans, get some coffee.
Get
I'm,
burnt?
I'm gonna spill it right in Louis'
Yeah.
lap. We're gonna make some money, bitches.
That's
We're
right.
gonna make some money.
Don't forget to hole punch his card with a heart shape.
Wow. We went there.
She went there, yeah. She went there.
Damn.
All right, before anybody else gets in trouble. But before, like, I wonder if John ever went to a safe place.
I wonder if he's ever gotten burned by coffee.
I wonder.
I wonder if he went to Bangin' Beans.
Ow, I don't know. We're gonna have to ask him next time because we don't have time to talk to him
Yeah.
in this episode. But we'll talk to him.
Just
Next.
keep rolling. Oh,
Yeah,
that was it.
good stuff. Good stuff.
Good stuff. We love
All
you,
right,
John.
All right. Sorry, John.
Yeah, we
Next
love
time.
you.
Next time.
Next
We'll
time.
get you on the show next.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. That's it. We'll talk to you guys later.
Peace.
Bye.